Okay, looks like I got some work ahead of me. Well, I just went to Home Depot, my favorite hardware store, and I've been working on those stairs, and yes, this is the next step. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some thin set material, and I talked to the guy at Home Depot. He was very informative because they had lots of this stuff. This happens to be called FlexBond Premium Crack Prevention Thin Set Mortar. Okay, and this one's gray. They actually had white too. 50 pounds, 50-pound bag. I think this is going to be plenty. This was the smallest bag they had. It was like $34 or something. And I'm going to use that first. The thin set is like a mortar base, but it has some active ingredients in there that makes it kind of sticky and lets it bond down to it. And they use this when they install tile floors and ceramic tile countertops years ago when they used to do that. I don't know if they even do countertops like that anymore. And they would put it on with this, and then they would put the tile on there, and it would stick really super good to this stuff. Thin set. Okay, and usually they put it on with a notch, not like this. It's usually square, like a rectangle. Boom, 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 boom. And there's different ones, and you'll have to look. See how the notches are on this? That's because they would use a trowel. The trowel would have notches on it like that. Well, I don't want them that deep because I'm just gonna, after I put it on, I'm gonna take this, and this was one of the little cheapo ones they had there at the store. It's you know, I don't use stuff like this all the time, and I could use this another time for carpet patches or linoleum patches or something like that. You know, I didn't need that other one. And I didn't want the grooves very long at all. I just want to etch this a little bit. And even if I had a small little metal rake or something like that, I could have used something like that just to etch it a little bit so that when I put the speed finish on, it'll stick to that. Now, I probably don't really have to use this if I don't want, but I think I'm going to try it. And then after I put that on, there's only so smooth I'm going to be able to put that on. Okay, after that I'm going to use this stuff, and I called it a concrete veneer material, or the other word that I was trying to remember was feather edge. Sometimes you get something that's called feather edge, and the stuff that Home Depot has, it's called speed finish, and it has a silicone type sand in it. Really fine stuff in there, and then some mortar. No sand flakes. This stuff is you can smooth it right down to like a baby's butt. And I read on it and stuff, and they both come in a dry form. And I don't know if this is going to be enough. This was like $19 in itself. I should have bought 2 of them while I was there, but I thought maybe I can get by doing all the steps with just one. And if not, I'll have to drive back to Home Depot again. I don't mind. I go there every once in a while, and there's always going to be something I'm going to need there. Like once I get this done, I'm going to have to do some more caulking, and I don't have enough caulking now. So I have to get some caulking, and then I'm going to take the paint that I used on the steps before. I'm going to take that paint can with me, and I'm going to take it to Home Depot, and I think I'm going to get some sort of exterior grade type paint, kind of like an epoxy paint, but not something that you have to mix two things and then put it down. I've used that stuff before, but then once you do it, you can't use it much after that because it'll dry really super hard, whatever you got left in the can. And so I've used something else, and it's kind of like epoxy paint, for exterior that you can just buy in a gallon container. But I bought some red at Home Depot before. It was already pre-mixed, and I had them shake it before I bought it and stuff. But I'm hoping that I can get something like that that's white, that they can maybe tint to the same color of step material that I had from before. Okay, so like I say, there's always more times that I have to go to Home Depot and check this out. I wasn't going there to the store for these, but remember I told you I didn't really like orange gloves, but I've been using them, and first they're this bright orange, and then they get faded. And I've used them. I bought like a 5 or 6 pack before, and I think it was like $5 or something. Well, this time a 5-pack was $2.88. When I first walked into the store, I thought, well, I don't really need these right now, but I'm going to get them anyways. Less than $3 for 5 pairs of these? That's ridiculous. Try to find stuff in pairs when you go to Home Depot. You know, you can buy something kind of like this, and I've seen these as much as $8.99. Not for the orange ones, but maybe black or blue or something like that. And if you don't get them on sale, hey, $4.99, $5.99 is still halfway decent for one pair if you're desperate. But anytime I can find these, you know, a 6-pack. They used to sell a 6-pack. Now it's a 5-pack. $2.88. That's a steal. So I had to buy them. And this was like $4. Okay, $19 for that, for my speed finish, and $35 for that. And I think I'm good to go. Fix my stairs. Hopefully I won't need any more of this, but if I do, I'll get another one. And then I'll just save whatever left I have. This is a 10-pound container. I don't think they had this any bigger. They just had it in boxes like this. Okay. All right. So that's my next step. And I hope you come out and watch me finish the stairs by using this material. I've never used this on the steps before, and you know, sometimes I think maybe I'll just do one step first to see how I like it and see how it's going to work before I turn my video camera on and start up so that I'm a little bit aware of how this product's going to work and how it's going to finish and all that kind of stuff. But no, I'm not going to do that. You're going to see what I see for the first time and how I go about mixing this. I mean, they tell you to mix it up in a 5-gallon bucket. Well, that's if you're doing big, huge projects. I'm not doing a big project, so I'm just going to use my sheetrock pan, and I'm going to mix up enough that I can put on at one time and see how it works from there. That's how I'm going to do it, and that's how you can do it too. All right, time to get busy. Oh yeah, you know what this means. Time to get back hot and heavy on these steps. You saw that last quick little video I had. I just picked up the material from Home Depot. My favorite hardware store. And I'm gonna mix everything up in this little pan right here, and I've got some different knives here. My 3-inch I can use to mix up. This one I can use to put it on. And I've got even some wider ones, and I got a little empty bottle, little water bottle. I should get an extra long one, but that's the only one I have, and I'll fill that up with water, and then I'll put it in there. And here's my material down here. I've got to get a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to set that down over here so I can mix. Here's my water, here's my stuff right here. I'm about ready to get going on this thing. Oh,